Welcome back, and today we're gonna be talking about Infinite Dendrogram episode 10. So, like always, let's just jump into it. So this episode of Infinite Dendrogram took a little different approach when it came to all the characters. Now, usually we don't know a lot about the real life in this world, like the real life that all the players are living and experiencing. But this episode kind of brought us all back. It kind of did some flashbacks with some of the characters that are, involved in this arc. So for example, Mary, right? Last episode, we found out that she's the superior killer. And she's OP. I mean, she's fighting this other, superior person with a superior job. And granted, it's music, but still, that dude is OP. He's able to throw sound waves, which kind of reminds me of, Naruto with the village hidden in the sound or whatever it was called. That they kind of had the same attacks. And it didn't matter, okay? Because Mary is OP, okay? She can actually fight. She can fight with her gun in long distances, or she can come up real nice, real close and personal with a couple of daggers. She's like an assassin, right? She can either take you out long range, or she can take you out close and personal. And that's what she did. She even has a skill that pretty much like doesn't take her out of the game, but it takes her like nobody can pretty much detect her. So technically it is taking her out of the game and bringing her right back. So I'm guessing that's what she used to get out of the arena, because she was the only high level character that was able to do so. Unless she is a lower level and that's why she got out. But I honestly think she used that skill to get out, because she's killing superiors, okay? She's OP. She's the only one out of all the PvP players that got away from the legit superiors, okay? The only one that was able to get out. So she's OP, there's no doubt about that. But we got a flashback involving her personal life. She was a manga artist, and I guess she had writer's block where she got canceled for her first publisher. And then, when she got picked up by another publisher, she really couldn't finish the story. She couldn't, Mary Adler, the persona that she's taking within the game, that's the character that she created, but she couldn't like write a story with that character. She really just had a writer's block. So she kind of remembered that this game exists where she can go in and, I guess she went in trying to get inspiration for her character. That's why she became Mary Adler, like the character she created in the manga. So she can, get inspiration or whatever. And I guess it is successful. She hasn't gone back to finish the manga or whatever, but she did say, she's been having success with it. And it's kind of cool. I kind of like that we got that flashback from her. Kind of gives us a little bit character development and why she's playing the game, which I'll come back to that later. Because we also got the same thing with our catfish, Hugo, okay? He's playing a male, but in reality, she's a female. She's playing, she's a female person in the real world, but she created a male persona in the game because she wanted to be a knight. Because and the story behind her is really sad, because we see that she's, she came from a family that's rich, has a lot of money, but her dad was really kind of like abusive to his wife, and to some extent even his daughter, because his daughter started a hobby around pottery and creating figurines and stuff like that. And since they're rich, I guess that's beneath her. And he's like, if you smell like clay and all this stuff, nobody's gonna like you. You're due to be married with this guy right now, like an arranged marriage. The father is a really a-hole, okay? That dude is not cool. And because the daughter kind of, I guess she felt trapped and was not feeling it, she ran away, because who can blame her really? Like, I would have done the same thing. But it sucks because at the end of the day, this kind of led to a divorce between the parents. And since she was the younger child, I guess she had to pick or whatever, and she went with the mom or whatever. But she felt like she wanted to be a knight, like in the movies and like a play that she remembered. She wanted to be like the white knight in shining armor, where she could save everybody and save, her older sister, save her parents' relationship. And it speaks some truth, right? Because in most divorce, I feel like the kids are the ones that kind of blame themselves. And I'm guessing that's what she's doing in this scenario. But that's why she created Hugo, the character Hugo, the persona Hugo. And that's why we see that he cares about all the living things in this game and all that, because that's what she wants to be. She wants to be a knight, somebody, you know, that goes for justice, okay? Now, we got that from those characters, and moving forward, I'm wondering if we're gonna get this stuff with the other characters. Like, for example, I would really like to see Rey's actual, like, you know, normal life outside of the game, because it seems that, you know, they're spending a lot of time in here. Like, that's all the time we get. I think this is the first time in the anime that we get to see how other people's lives are out in outside the game, which is kind of cool. I like the little twist. But the main part of this episode is pretty much how Hugo and Franklin, I feel like they're kind of related, right? There's something going on there, because Franklin tells Hugo that in here you call me leader. So that leads me to believe that they're either related or they know each other in real life. Plot twist, it could be his, you know, Hugo's older sister or the dad. Who knows? But I feel like there is a relationship outside of the game, or more to it, which also brings me to the point of, you know, this thing sounds like a huge RP server, right? Like a role-playing server, because why is it so important to, you know, kidnap the princess? Like, why is it so important to go to war? Like, what's the benefits, right? Because as players, and, you know, me playing a lot of MMOs, you know, I never do anything outside the game that doesn't benefit me in the game, right? Like, I'm not gonna do a quest inside the game or do anything in the game that does not get me better gear or better something. So I'm wondering what, you know, Hugo and Franklin and everybody that's trying to get this war started is gonna get out of it, because I really don't, more territory, but they're just players, right? That I really don't see why they're putting so much emphasis on this war. I really don't get why it's so important, and everybody's taking it seriously, right? You know, when Mary was fighting the other guy, he wants to see Franklin become a hero, and I'm kind of wondering what that means, because, you know, it seems that everybody, at least Mary and Hugo, those two, the way that they came into the game, I guess they were distressed in life, in real life, and they kind of found the game. So remember, a couple episodes back, there's somebody, you know, looking at Rey killing all these ultimate bosses, and he has an interest in Rey, and he's like in a master room, like a master server or something, but he's able to see everything. He's got a massive computer in front of him, and that kind of leads me to believe that there has to be something more to this game than just being a game, right? Because the way that Mary and Hugo were introduced into the game seems kind of sketchy, right? Plus, the wording that person said, you know, a couple episodes back, saying that, you know, this is not just a simple game. There's definitely something in there. And then what the musician said in this episode, where he wants to see Franklin become a hero, what does exactly mean to become a hero? Like, I feel like all the masters, they're already heroes, right? Like, they're already heroes within that game. They're like the top of the top in the game. So I'm wondering what he means. I feel like there's something like a step above. I really don't know. I'm kind of like, you know, curious about it. And of course, we see that even though Hugo wants to help, you know, he kind of hinted that he wants to help Rey. He made Rey use one of his skills. Well, actually, he used both. Vengeance is mine, and the other one, I forgot the name. But we know that, you know, Rey's skills, they're limited. He can't use them, you know, unlimited times. They're kind of limited. And he's going to fight Franklin. Now, I don't see how my boy Rey is going to take Franklin out, because that RDK or SDK thing that he popped out is OP. And from what we see in this episode, that the monster that Franklin pulled out, it seems to be immune to like holy power or paladins and stuff like that. You know, like I would say like white magic, because we see all the NPCs, like the, you know, the princess that got kidnapped, her older sister, everybody, all the royal guards is pretty much fighting Franklin, and they can't really do anything because that monster can absorb all those holy skills. So I'm wondering what Rey is going to be able to do against this thing. You know what I mean? Maybe Vengeance is Mine is going to come into play or something, but he already used one on Hugo. So, and of course we got to talk about Rook, because this had to be the funniest thing, and I can't believe if this was in the books or the manga or whatever, I can't believe they actually named Rook's job at pimp. Because when Hugo and Rook were facing off and they kind of started, you know, calling themselves by their titles and all that, and, you know, Hugo sounded all serious, you know, kind of like cool, but then you get Rook, you know, saying pimp and all this. I'm like, yo, my dude, no, thank you. This episode was great. I love the fight between Mary and the musician. Mary's OP. I can't wait to see, you know, Mary and Ray talk this out, because I don't know for sure that Ray knows who Mary really is. You know, he hasn't seen her, so I can't really, you know, they might not even actually discuss it. They might just move on, because I don't think Ray even knows what she is or what she's doing. But it will be interesting if he finds out, because I want to see what's going to happen there. And I want to see Franklin, what are his motives, because I think there's more to it than just attacking the kingdom for no reason. There's a twist in there, and I hope it's something big. But like always, go ahead, leave a like, subscribe, and I will see you on the next episode.